Why you always feel watched, even when you're alone. Have you ever been completely alone in your room, yet felt like invisible eyes were boring into the back of your skull? That creeping sensation that makes your skin crawl and forces you to glance over your shoulder, even though logic tells you nobody's there? You're not losing your mind, and you're definitely not alone in experiencing this. What I'm about to reveal will change how you understand your own brain forever. Every single day, millions of people across the globe experience this exact same phenomenon. They're sitting in their living room, working late at night, or lying in bed, when suddenly that feeling hits. The unmistakable sensation of being observed. Your heart rate spikes, your muscles tense, and every instinct screams that someone or something is watching you. But here's the terrifying part. Science has finally figured out why this happens, and the truth is far more disturbing than you might imagine. What if I told you that this feeling isn't a glitch in your brain, it's actually a survival mechanism that kept your ancestors alive for thousands of years? Deep within your neural wiring lies an ancient alarm system, so powerful that it can detect threats that don't even exist. But here's where it gets really unsettling. Developmental change. Your brain is essentially a paranoid bodyguard that never sleeps. Throughout human development, the individuals who survived weren't the bravest or the strongest, they were the most paranoid. Those who constantly felt watched, who jumped at shadows, who assumed danger lurked around every corner. These hypervigilant ancestors lived long enough to pass on their genes, which means their paranoid tendencies are now hardwired into your DNA. This is called the hypervigilance bias, and it's your brain's way of saying, I'd rather be wrong about danger than dead. Your amygdala, the brain's fear center, is constantly scanning for threats even when you're completely safe. It's like having a smoke detector that goes off when you burn toast, except your smoke detector is looking for predators that haven't existed for thousands of years. But developmental change is just the beginning. Have you ever noticed that the feeling of being watched almost always comes from your peripheral vision? There's a scientific reason for this that will make you question everything you think you know about what you're actually seeing.
The peripheral vision fact. Your peripheral vision is essentially your brain's early warning system. While your central vision focuses on whatever you're looking at directly, your peripheral vision is constantly monitoring a 180-degree field for movement and changes. Here's the mind-bending part. Your peripheral vision can detect motion that your conscious mind isn't even aware of. Scientists have discovered that your brain processes peripheral information up to 25 milliseconds before you're consciously aware of it. This means your subconscious is literally seeing things before you see them. When you feel watched, it might be because your peripheral vision detected a subtle movement, a curtain swaying, a shadow shifting, or even just the way light changes in a room, and your brain interpreted it as a potential threat. Here's where things get really weird. Your brain has special cells called mirror neurons that fire both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else performing that action. But what happens when these neurons start firing for no apparent reason? The neuroscience of phantom watchers. Mirror neurons are why you yawn when someone else yawns, or why you flinch when you see someone get hurt. They're your brain's way of understanding others by literally simulating their experiences in your own mind. But sometimes these neurons misfire. They activate as if you're being observed even when you're alone. This creates what researchers call social presence hallucinations. Your brain generating the sensation of being watched because your mirror neurons are responding to phantom social cues. It's like your brain is playing a movie of being watched, with all the emotional and physical responses, even though the theater is empty. In today's world, there's another layer to this phenomenon that our ancestors never had to deal with. You might actually be right about being watched, but not in the way you think. Modern digital surveillance. Your smartphone has up to 14 different sensors that are constantly monitoring your environment. Your smart TV, your laptop camera, your voice assistants, they're all potentially watching and listening. Your subconscious mind might be picking up on subtle indicators that these devices are active, a barely audible electronic hum, a tiny LED light, or even electromagnetic fields that you can't consciously detect but your brain somehow senses. Studies have shown that people can sometimes sense when they're being recorded or monitored, even without obvious visual cues. Your brain has evolved to detect attention from others, and it might be sensitive enough to pick up on digital attention as well. But here's the most mind-blowing explanation of all, and it ventures into territory that even scientists are still trying to understand: the observer effect. In quantum physics, there's something called the observer effect, the theory that the act of observation changes the thing being observed. Some researchers theorize that consciousness itself might have quantum properties, and that when someone thinks about you or focuses their attention on you from a distance, you might actually be able to sense it on a subconscious level. While this sounds like science fiction, experiments in remote viewing and psychic phenomena have produced results that traditional science struggles to explain. Could it be that when you feel watched, someone, somewhere, really is thinking about you? Regardless of whether the sensation is accurate or not, feeling watched actually provides you with a significant survival advantage that most people never realize. The hidden benefits. When you feel watched, your body immediately enters a heightened state of awareness. Your hearing becomes more acute, your reaction time improves, and your brain processes information faster. You become more observant of your environment and more prepared to respond to actual threats. This false alarm system, even though it's often wrong, has probably saved countless lives throughout human history. People who trust their gut feeling about being watched are more likely to avoid dangerous situations, notice when something is genuinely wrong, and take precautions that keep them safe. So, the next time you feel those invisible eyes on you, remember this: your brain isn't broken, and you're not paranoid. You're experiencing one of the most sophisticated survival mechanisms ever developed in us humans. The feeling of being watched is your brain's way of keeping you alive in a world full of uncertainty. Whether it's neuroscience, technology, or something we don't yet understand, that creeping sensation serves a purpose. Instead of ignoring it, learn to work with it. Pay attention to what triggers it. Use it to become more aware of your surroundings. And remember, in a world where we actually are being watched more than ever before, a little paranoia might not be such a bad thing. What's your experience with feeling watched? Have you ever had that sensation turn out to be accurate? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video opened your eyes to the incredible complexity of your own mind, hit that subscribe button for more fascinating insights into human psychology.